Hello, I've got a fun one for you today. This is something, granted, this will probably never affect me, and maybe a lot of you too. Well, I know the majority of my viewers are American, so this probably isn't going to face us that's not what I was supposed to say there. This is not going to affect us very much. It stems from an issue that will be plaguing us, has been for the past, and will continue to, I can only assume, get worse and worse in the future. Volkswagen gates a new vehicle's full horsepower behind a monthly subscription. Everything is a subscription now. You will own nothing, and you will continue to subscribe to anything and everything. You will pay a subscription for your movies, you will pay a subscription for your games, you will pay a subscription for your printer, ink, and paper, and you will pay a subscription for your top speed on your car. I just think the idea of this is just really upsetting and ridiculous. Actually, you know what, now that I think about it, doesn't BMW do something like this? Hold on. I know Tesla, I'm pretty sure you have to pay a subscription for the self-driving. That I can somewhat understand to an extent. Maybe it's just because I don't understand the technology. Maybe. Okay, they did at one point charge a subscription for heated seats, which is absolutely ridiculous. And this is a lot similar to what I want to get at. Granted, BMW still does have subscriptions for some things. Remote start, drive recording, traffic camera. I think a bunch of these don't make a bunch of sense until you get to like maybe driving assistant. I don't know, it depends. It depends on what this means exactly. If it is literally just like they use the camera that's on the front of the, maybe they've got like two cameras and it's literally just proximity and then your, what's it called? Your cruise control. And if the car in front of you slows down, it'll slow down and stop, and whenever it starts going again, it'll just start moving again. Maybe that's what this subscription is for, in which case I still believe that like everything from, dude, this website is awful to click and stop highlighting. From here up, I think just doesn't make any sense. But anyways, we're not here to talk about BMW. Closing these tabs. For both of these models, the maximum horsepower is listed at 228 brake horsepower. However, driving the vehicle normally, you can only push it to 201. In order to get that extra power out of it, you have to pay extra. For what reason? The car can already drive that fast. You are doing no one a service other than your shareholders by limiting the power that the car has to a subscription. Like, you built the car, you paid for the parts to put in it, and I bought the car with those parts in it to drive it at that speed. If you're going to charge me more to drive it at the speed that you designed it to be driven at, just make me pay more for it. Now, this might be good for some people, I won't lie, if and only if the car has been marked down lower than they would have sold it had they included everything in it. I can guarantee you that's not going to happen. But if it did, if it was, someone like me, who's never going to max out their car's speedometer. I have never gone, what's the fastest I've gone on my car? 110? I think 110? That's the fastest I've gone in my car. I don't think I'm really ever going to go any faster, in which case I will probably never need to pay for this. Never. But I can guarantee you, I can't prove it, but I'm more than willing to bet this car was sold at the price that they had originally intended to sell it for, with everything included, and it was decided afterwards that they would charge extra for the extra horsepower. I can't guarantee, I keep saying that. There's no way that wasn't what happened. We do have an explanation though as to why they did it. Volkswagen views the service as a way to offer people more power under the hood without having to sell them a new car. I'm sorry, maybe I'm stupid, but I just don't see why that's, like, why? Okay, so a very unfortunate fact about these cars is that, well, it's not unfortunate. I mean, this is really good. These are electric vehicles, right? These are electric cars. Now, being someone who has a lot of car people around me at all times, right? I've got a lot of friends who are really into cars. If they want to make their car faster, they can just replace the part. A $750, what was it? $20 a month, or $200 a year, or just one payment of $760. Now, yes, what they would do is buy a better or new part or something and put it in or replace it to give their car more horsepower, right? And yes, if they could just pay the company an extra $760 to unlock it on their car, if I'm going to be honest, actually, they'd probably jailbreak it instead and get that anyways. That's maybe a bad example. But for the people who buy this car and want to hit those higher speeds, I feel like the only people who are going to be topping out the speedometer on these cars, which, by the way, this does not look like a car that people are going to be topping out the speedometer on for performance reasons or whatever. But if they wanted to, okay, if they're the kind of person to do that, they would probably also be the same kind of person to swap the parts out on the car. Now, this is an electric car. I know nothing about working with electric cars or increasing speed or any of that. I know absolutely nothing, okay? I will admit that. So maybe there is no way to increase the horsepower on an electric car. I can only imagine how you would do it is just increase the voltage. I think that's just about it. At which point, like maybe whatever engine is running the tires breaks, or whatever, not engine, whatever motor is running the tires stops working. No clue. But regardless, locking the top speeds behind this car that is kind of only going to be, like, only the people who want the car to reach these top speeds are going to be the people who pay it. That was kind of something stupid to say. They're going to be the same people who would be willing to actually swap out parts on the car. But still, I don't see the people who are willing to shell out an extra $760 for a higher top speed on their car being the same kind of people to buy an electric vehicle that they couldn't upgrade on their own, right? With all that being said, like, the people who are going to pay that extra money for that extra top speed so they can reach those higher speeds, maybe on more than one occasion, right? Maybe, I can only imagine if you're gonna do it, you're just gonna pay it one time and see how far my car goes, like on the track or something. $20 a month, cancel the subscription, never touching that again. Granted, Volkswagen still wins in that instance because they got your 20 bucks they wouldn't have had otherwise. But the kind of person who is going to buy a car that they can make faster, I can only imagine isn't going to buy this car. So with all that in consideration, they're kind of just taking something that the average person would have bought with the ability to do something. Like, it is there, the car can do that. They're just telling you, like, no, you can't do it. And it's not like a lot of other cars where you can go significantly faster than it allows you to. They just, like, limit it because it could cause damage to the engine or, you know, other parts of the car. This one, it can safely do those speeds. It can comfortably do that and not suffer the consequences. And, like, to compare this, because maybe this car was marked down, right? Because I thought, I was like, maybe this car is marked down from the top speed or whatever. Now, this is for the new cars. I don't think this is for their previously released cars. I couldn't see anything about it. I looked into it, couldn't find anything about if this was for their new cars or for their old cars. I looked it up, okay? And this is for the 2021 models. Granted, this is 4 years ago. This is a model from 4 years ago. The highest model has a top speed of 124 miles per hour, which costs, I just found this random EV database website, right? In the UK, it has a listed price of $34,240, which in United States dollars is $46,159, okay? $46,000. We're gonna compare this to the staple, the US staple for electric vehicles, the Tesla Model Y, okay? The Tesla Model Y sells for $44,900. Almost, that's like what? Like $1,000 cheaper? Not that $1,000 is more than the $760 that you'd be paying for the permanent top speeds on the previous car, okay? Still more money. No, wait, I don't even need to worry about that because it's $1,000 more. It is $1,000 more than just the price of the car alone. Not even including the permanent top speed increase. Not even including that. Anyways, the Tesla Model Y has a top speed of 125 miles per hour. No subscription. No subscription. And the car's just cheaper. You just get that. Not that I'm like a super Tesla fanboy or anything. I could care less if I'm going to be honest. I'm just looking at the numbers and I don't see why it would ever be necessary to charge that subscription. Absolutely no reason why. Oh, also, something that I want to mention. On the Tesla website, there's no way that this is going to be factored into the final price that I actually pay. But you are able to include the estimated like gas savings of a car, and you're allowed to screw with these numbers. So I was just like messing around whenever I pulled this up. I could buy this car for a profit of $16 million. I mean, tell me why. Tell me why I don't need to buy this car. It says that car is $16 million after the estimated savings. Anyways, that's the bit. We love seeing this happen. We love seeing subscriptions being shoehorned into places arbitrarily that they really don't need to be it's super upsetting. There's so many more things that are subscription based now. Like we legitimately just are moving towards the future where we owe nothing. And in fact, there's a video that I'm probably going to make immediately after I finish recording this one on these glasses that are being developed. I believe it's by a startup called Halo is releasing a pair of smart glasses. Essentially, the goal is to do vibe thinking, okay? If any of y'all know what vibe coding is, then you will understand kind of what they mean by vibe thinking. Imagine you have to pay a subscription for these glasses, okay? And now someone uses them to the point where they are just unable to think on their own, and now they have to pay a subscription service to think. Anyways, that's all I have to say. Please subscribe to me. Bye bye. Bye bye.